Welcome friends, I am Hrishikesh Sharan. Let us talk today about the Four Noble Truths of Lord Buddha. The Lord Buddha, as Prince Siddhartha, left the palace at the age of 29 and got enlightenment at the age of 35. What was the purpose of his leaving home? He had seen an old man, a sick man, and a dead man, and come to the conclusion that this will happen to him and to everybody around him. And he considered it as a great suffering. He wanted to know whether there was any way out to get out of this suffering. He tried to find out the answers from the scriptures available at that time, attended to the discourses, held discussions with the scholars, but could not arrive at the right conclusion. So he left the palace. And after wandering for 6 years, he finally got the enlightenment, what he was looking for, under the peepal tree at Bodh Gaya in the state of Bihar in India. What did he find? One part of his finding was about the Noble Truth. Four Noble Truths. They are all so called as Arya Satya or Arya Truth. That is the eternal truth. What are they? The first truth is, whatsoever is around us is suffering. Let us try to understand it. It says that when the child is born, the child cries, and with the birth itself, he cries for oxygen, because when he was in the womb of the mother, the entire need of the child was being made by the mother. When he comes out, his lungs are empty, he wants oxygen, he cries, and from that moment the series of cries in life starts. When he grows up, he has to struggle in life, do a lot of things which he may not be keen to do. He becomes sick, he becomes old, he has to suffer in many ways, and finally, at the end of the life, he goes away from the world. As per his karma, he takes another birth, and this process of birth and death continues. And in this life, there is not only suffering, as mentioned above, there is suffering also when the people we love, we have to part with them. And the people whom we don't love, we have to live with them. All this is suffering. The youth has to do a lot of work, the struggle for survival, everything is suffering. Then, the second noble truth which the Buddha found is there is a cause for suffering. It's not that the suffering is made by some universal law or God or some other external force. There is a cause for suffering, and that suffering is not because of somebody else. There is a cause for suffering, and what cause is there? The Buddha says the cause for suffering is craving. When we take birth, we always want something or the other. The desire to have more and more worldly things. I may have a car, ordinary tin pot, tomorrow I may like to have BMW, Mercedes-Benz, Bentley, or some other costly car. I may have a small house to live. I may be living happily, satisfied. But when I see the friends around having big mansion, my craving for that starts. And my entire effort is to get a big house. I lose my peace of mind. I am not happy with myself, and that is only because of the craving. Buddha says that craving is like salty water of the ocean. We may keep on drinking, but we'll never be able to quench our thirst. Similar example is given of a drunkard. He may take liquor, intoxicating drink, but the more he takes, the more he wants to take. And like this, he continues to run after the craving. The other examples given are like the dog which is trying to eat a bone. In the process, it bites its own tongue, it bleeds, and from that bleeding, it appears that it is getting a taste of salt, and it keeps on doing it, chewing the bone, cutting its throat, seems it enjoying. So the suffering is because of the craving or desire. And there is no end to desire. It's like the mirage in the desert. The nearer we go, we seem to have reached the oasis. We seem to reach near water, but farther it goes. So there is a cause for suffering, that is the tanaha, the desire, the craving. And then finally, the fourth way is how to get rid of this suffering. So Buddha says that if we are able to take out the tanaha, the craving from our heart, then the suffering can cease. But this taking out the desire, this taking out of craving, has not to be at the superficial level. Just as the weeds which come out of the ground, if we take them out, but don't take them out from the very depth of them with all the roots, then next time with a little shower they will grow up again, and this process will continue. So we may suppress our desires, we may suppress our cravings, but we will not be able to finish them ultimately unless we contemplate on them deeply, think of them, meditate on them, and not only that, we try to practice them in life.